God's blessed you with because of the stewardship that you've been doing. I'll certainly introduce my mother, father, and sister who's sitting at table 3, Susan, Mike, and Rachel, who have helped support me through many things before today and also in today. So I want to thank you, and then I do have something to say for a few minutes. So when I was notified about today, I was given the option to say something. And at the time, I had absolutely nothing to say, but that's never stopped any academic. So of course, I agreed to say something. So after putting some thought to it, I thought I could talk about my work that I do at the NIH or some accomplishments that were mentioned today. And then I thought about how much of a waste of time that would be, of mine and yours. So in this life, I believe we only really ever have 2 choices. So year by year, day by day, moment by moment, I think we all know that we either make the choice to be obedient to the call of our Father, or we make the choice to be selfish. We all create all these things around that to distract us from that fact, but that's really all there ever is. So in my life, there's been a few critical points where I chose to be obedient. That's it. Everything else that's been attributed to me in days past, today, and the future is all the work of my Father. So that's really all I have to say about that. So in the couple of minutes that I do have with you today, I'd rather do something purposeful. I'd rather talk with you, Anderson, about your past, your present glory and all that it is, and what I think your future holds, although I have no idea about that sort of thing. So I came onto campus as I'm driving in the other day. I was reminded of being here previously as a young student, and I was reminded of how in the past you made the decision in my life to be obedient. Year after year, day after day, that decision of obedience formed in me who I am. It manufactured or molded, if you will, the parts that are before you. So, by your willingness to answer the call of your Father in obedience, I'm here. Now, I was assembled into a scientist at Emory University years past after being here, but all the parts that made me were manufactured, molded, and built right here by you, Anderson. As I come back, I see around me the fruits of your labor, this beautiful building, whispers of new programs, all sorts of fantastic things. And I see that you've continuously been blessed because of your obedience, and more has been given to you. I see around me an endless supply of the raw materials, the young men and women that you so expertly, so obediently mold into the parts that when assembled on site, wherever that is, they have the power to change this city, this state, this country. And it's simply based on your obedience in previous times and in the present. So I didn't realize that we were going to be in this building, but I see these new gleaming buildings. I see or hear whispers of new programs of sport and other, and I also feel this palpable energy that's here based on this obedience that you've had to this call of your Father. And today, for your future, I simply have a very brief challenge to you. That in all of that, with all those blessings that come, never forget to be obedient. Never forget those 2 choices. So I see this beautiful new student center. It's amazing. It's something to be unbelievably proud of. I can't believe this used to be a soccer field that I used to walk across. But I live, in the D.C. metro area now, and I go by George Washington University from time to time, and they have a beautiful student center. They don't have a Carrie Koenig sign. I hear and see things about these new dorms. I remember as I was driving into campus, used to be these old houses. My wife roomed in one of those houses one year. I remember them, and I see that old has been removed, and these beautiful new dorms housing these raw materials, these men and women, are now there. As I left Emory, cranes were being pulled away where they built new 15-story dorm rooms. So they have dorms. They've never had a Tom Cozell. Only Anderson's had a Tom Cozell. And finally, I hear of this wonderful opportunity for this new athletic program, this football program. And I understand as you're moving forward, these new opportunities are arising to have new offerings for your students. And I also know that there's a university right down the road that has this really well-known, nationally recognized football program, Clemson University. I know that they've never had a Dorota Abramovich. So all of these universities are great places, but they lack these essential ingredients that you have. A Gilbert Yabi, a Frank Norris, a Jane Dorn, a Tim Speaker, a Margaret Gray, a Charles Rains. And I ask that as you have all these new things, don't forget who does the molding that happens here. To give those leaders that create the next generation of leaders every bit of agency to continue to help make those obedient decisions that you've been so diligently making over your 109 years of history. So in all of these things that come, these wonderful blessings, there's something to be absolutely celebrated, but just remember what brought them was obedience. So remember, please continue to be obedient with what's given to you. Continue to be Anderson.